Well, good morning. Welcome to Agape. We teach unconditional love through conscious living. Love is the awareness and acceptance of our wholeness. At Agape, we want to empower you to live your best, most authentic life because we understand that your authenticity is your gift to the world. So let's begin by being still. We're going to take a few moments just to quiet our minds so that we're open and receptive to the ideas that might be presented here today. So gently bring yourself to a comfortable seated upright position. Your back is straight. Hands gently resting on your lap. Slowly close your eyes and bring your awareness to the sound of your breath and the sound of my voice. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and now gently exhale through your mouth. Again, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth, releasing any stress, any tension. Again, breathe in through your nose, and as you exhale, feel your body soften and become more relaxed. Now, I want you to observe as thoughts come in. Just let them go. Let them pass. Understanding we cannot stop the mind from thinking, but we can have the ability to not focus on the thoughts, just to observe them. So for the next few seconds, just observe thoughts coming in and let them go out. Come in and let them go out. Notice how when you don't attach to the thought, attach to wanting it, not wanting it, attach to analyzing it, there's a sense of freedom, a sense of inner peace. Understanding that the mind's nature is to constantly think. And the mind is constantly thinking using all the data you have from the past, all of your past experiences. But you can observe and not be attached to it. And you find peace in the moment. And when you find peace, you find a place where your body naturally moves into a state of the parasympathetic. That's the state of healing. That's where the body is in balance, where the immune system is functioning fully and perfectly. It's a state where you can hear inner wisdom coming to you, answering questions that you may have asked, thinking the answer was outside, but it's always been within you, but you've quieted yourself. And you've opened yourself to listening. So let's take a moment and do that. Ask yourself, what is it that I would love to experience and bring into my life? What is it that I would love to bring in and experience in my life? Now ask yourself the question, how would that benefit me and how would that benefit others? Just listen. You can do this on your own at any time. In fact, I invite you to do it every morning. Spend 5 minutes. Take 3 deep breaths and ask the question, what is it I truly want to experience? And how will it benefit me and others? And you'll be amazed at how that divine wisdom in you guides and directs you. So I want you gently now to start coming back to your body, to your mind, to this time, to this place. Begin to move your head from side to side or in a circle. Hands and fingers, start to move them. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes, coming back to now, refreshed, reinvigorated, and open to receive. With the way the world is today, I thought about how do we talk about reconciling the outer chaos of modern life? How do we do that? How do we reconcile with the outer chaos in life without losing our peace, without losing our clarity, without losing our sense of who we are? You see, today, I don't know about for you, but everyone I know, life feels chaotic. The news, noise, the constant uncertainty. Here in the United States, Russia and Ukraine. We've got Israel, Palestine, Iran. We've got all of these various things going on. We've got immigration. We've got flooding. It's unbelievable, all the things that are happening. And we're surrounded by that noise. We're surrounded by that noise, and it appears to be very chaotic. And most people are overwhelmed and searching for peace. The key question we must ask ourselves is, how do I reconcile the outer chaos without losing my inner clarity? And that's what we're going to talk about today. You see, there's an illusion about outer order. There's a backward belief, and here it is. If I can fix my job, fix my relationship, fix the economy, fix the election, fix my body, fix my kids, then I'll finally have peace. You ever done any of those things? Come on, you know you have, because I have. The truth of it is, the outer chaos is not the problem. It's our reaction to it. You see, the interesting thing is, on all the aspects outside of yourself and your job, your relationship, the economy, the election, your body, your kids, guess what? You have absolutely zero control. But you do have the ability to control how you react to it, or better yet, how you respond to it. One of the things that I see happening out there all the time is, when I find the right mate, then I'll feel complete. That's false logic. When I have enough money, I'll enjoy life. That's false logic. The truth is, you can't find the right mate. You have to find the right frequency within yourself. You've got to become the person who really doesn't need a mate, but is comfortable being alone. You've got to become the person who understands that you live an abundant life. You have what you need. In other words, you start enjoying life now. You're not waiting for anything outside to happen to be that. Because if you get the mate, you're not going to be happy. If you get the money, you're not going to be happy because it's an inside job. What I've come to understand is that chaos, which we're seeing in the world, is a mirror. If you go back and you study history, you'll find the world has always been uncertain. I look back as long as I can remember, and I'm 74 years of age, there's always been chaos in the world. It's just a little louder and more visible now. Social media, the internet, technology, we see it more. I wouldn't know what was going on in New York, California, Kerrville, 40, 50 years ago, and if I did, it would be a minor headline in the newspaper or a minor blurb on the news. But today, it's 24/7. We're being bombarded by things all over the world. Then you got to sort of ask, what are they picking up for us to look at? Well, of course, they're picking up the chaos. They're picking up things that are controversial. They're picking up things that, stimulate fear, because that's what draws our attention. You see, chaos is not a curse. It's a call. It's a calling to stop seeking peace outside of ourselves and start discovering the power within us. You know, as I've grown, as I've matured, as I've done my spiritual exploration, I have found there's a place within me. It's deeper than my thoughts. It's older than my name. It's untouched by noise. That's that still, quiet space. In Zen, they call it the no mind. That's place where you're not judging. You just accept what is. So there's no judgment. In religious science, we call it the indwelling presence, the allness, the oneness, basically the same thing. So understanding that there's an inner stillness, a peace, a place within us that we can go to, isn't it time we remember who we are? You see, you don't create this space, this inner stillness, this sanctuary within you. You just remember it. It's always been there. That's where the practice of meditation, mindful living, prayer, gratitude, forgiveness, they're to get you back to that place. And you do that through your practices. The first one is just become still. Can you just sit and not think? Can you bring your mind and focus on, let's say, a mantra? Pick a word. Pick the word blueberry. And just focus on the word blueberry without judgment. Just focus on the word. And then as you're doing it, can you witness your reactions? Can you become the witness in every day of your life? Can you become the witness of your reactions to everything that's happening? You hear a news event. How'd you react? That person said this. How'd you react? Can you be the witness and not react? Just observe. That's powerful. But you got to become still to do that. Because if you're not still, guess what? There's all this rambling going on in your head and you're not going to be able to be the witness. You're going to be the reaction. The other thing is, can you anchor yourself in your breath and awareness? Can you really just sit and just focus on breathing in and breathing out? And even just observing, becoming aware you're breathing in and you're breathing out. And feel the air moving through your body. Developing awareness is a lifetime process. You see, what I've come to understand is that when you observe without becoming what you observe, you reclaim your power. When you reclaim your power, you start to understand the truth that chaos is a teacher. Because it strips away illusions. Because it reveals what are we attached to. If you're having a strong mental reaction to something, there's an attachment to wanting more of it or wanting less of it. And when you have the attachment, now you can look at focus it. It confronts chaos, confronts control. Because you're going to have to realize there are events that are happening that you have no control over. I have no control over what's happening in Ukraine and Russia. I have no control of what's happening in Palestine. I have no control of these things. The only possible control I have is maybe if I want to send some money and aid, I could do that. I can definitely hold in prayer that the leaders of the world see it differently and bring peace. I could then vote at the next election for people who might have a point of view that might work on that. But that's all I can do. I can't control anything else, so why would I get myself upset over that? Chaos calls us into conscious living. To realize, what is it that we can do? How is it can we review it? How can we see the beauty of an event? What is that chaos trying to bring forth? Trying to bring forth the illusion that we're trying to control things that we have no ability to control. Conscious living is about how do we see life through the eyes of love? How do you see the people in Kerrville, Texas? The ones who are affected, trying to understand the pain that they're going through. It's something that takes time to do. And time heals all. One of the things chaos does as a teacher, it's a key reframe for us. In other words, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is it revealing in me? Why is a useless question. Because you're never going to really know the why. There's so many things you can't know the why. Why did my partner leave me? I don't know why. Maybe they don't even know why. Why do I have this illness? I don't know why. But what's it revealing in me? Why am I stressed? Why am I feeling so attached to this? Why am I making this more important than it is? Why is it I can't settle into the now and be perfectly at peace right here now? Let go of my thoughts so that I'm not sent into a whole stress thing, but rather I can find peace in the midst of a hurricane, just like the eye of the storm. And you know what? There are spiritual practices that will help us stay centered. Number one, this is one of my favorites, practice the pause. Something happens, pause before you react and ask the question, how can I express greater love here? Pausing will set you free. Next, it creates a space between the stimulus and the response. And all you need is a couple seconds. And you won't react automatically. You respond intentionally. Another spiritual practice is to anchor in truth. In other words, use affirmations. Affirmations like, peace is my nature. I'm unshaken in the midst of chaos. You don't have to be disturbed. Being disturbed, whether you realize it or not, most likely unconsciously, is a choice. Next spiritual practice, serve from wholeness. Be of service to others, knowing that you're whole and seeing the wholeness in them. In other words, embody peace. Don't preach it. How can you preach something that you don't embody? People will see through it like it was yesterday. They know. I know one of the things is I can't teach what I don't know that I'm not practicing, because if I did, people would see I'm a hypocrite. And there's a call to your truth, and chaos is that call. It's to reclaim your power. Reclaim your power for what? Against the fear, against the noise, against comparison. I'm sure you've heard this said before, but let me say it again. Comparison is the death of joy. It takes you out of being grateful for what you have. Be grateful for what you have. If you want more, fine. Set an intention to get more. But don't be called to fear getting more. Don't let the noise distract you. Here's another thing. Stop trying to fix what was never broken. We try to fix everything. Guess what? My kid flunking a class in school, he wasn't broken. He needed to learn a lesson by flunking that class. I did everything I could to stop my son from failing, and he didn't. And he would tell me later, you should have let me fail. I would have learned my lesson. He wasn't broken, because no one is broken. Here's the key thing. The only way people learn is through experience. The only way cultures learn is through experience. The only way relationships learn is through experiencing. It's not broken, it's progressing. And progressing means you're going to make mistakes. You have to have experiences to understand whether you're on the path or off the path. Chaos is the call to develop inner stillness. How can you be the eye of a hurricane in the midst of the storm? It's easy to meditate when you're sitting in a comfortable chair, perfect temperature, no noise. It's difficult to do it when you're in the midst of a room of yelling people. But you can if you train yourself. Chaos, it's out there, and chaos will continue. You're not here to escape chaos. You're here to transcend it. You see, it's not whether chaos will continue, but more importantly, will chaos dictate who you are, how you feel, and what you become? That's the question I want you to ask today. Will you allow chaos to dictate how you, will you allow the news to dictate how you feel? Will you allow social media to dictate how you feel? Will you allow them to forge you into a being instead of you consciously choosing who you're going to be and who you are to become? Or are you going to let chaos do that? Once you touch the center within you, the no body, the no thing, the Christ consciousness, the Buddha consciousness, nothing outside can take away that peace. Nothing outside can take away that knowing. Once you've tasted it, you will forever be changed, seeking to experience more of it because it's your natural state. You're not going to withdraw from life, but you're going to live life more fully because you're not going to be in fear. You're not going to be in judgment. You're going to be fully taking in whatever the chaos is bringing, experiencing it, letting it go, and moving on. Proving you are the divine spirit who can shift and shape and handle anything that's put in front of them. It's your job if you choose it. Otherwise, you're going to be at the whim of whatever's put in front of you, like a leaf blown by the winds moving in all directions. Take a few moments, be calm, question everything, and find out what is right for you. And only you know that. With love. I want to thank you for watching. If this message touched you, share it with others. Hit some likes in the social media, however you're watching it. Also, subscribe to my daily newsletter. Go to agapespiritualcenter.com. Click on the sign up for the newsletter and sign up there. Also, check out Agape, all the offerings that we offer. In-person gatherings, meditations, all of it on Zoom. Most of it on Zoom, so you can participate any way you want. And while you're there, if I touched you in any way, gave you something, make a donation. It's through your donations that we're able to bring this message. So support us as we do this. We're not trying to build a big fancy place. We don't have a big fancy place. We're trying to just bring this message out so that people become self-empowered and understand that everything begins and ends with self-love. With that, it's great to be alive. It's great to share this with you.